Hey guys, so I decided, I said, hey, why don't I do a story time since I'm here? So this story time is about when I was pregnant with Gabriel, my youngest son, who is now 16 months old. So my whole pregnancy, yes, I had a pandemic baby, you can say. Yeah, he was born June 8th at 8:47 p.m. He was born 9 pounds 4 ounces, and he was I went to Emory Hospital. Don't have to tell you the location because it doesn't matter. Okay. So he went there. I went there and I had him. So I will say this: I worked up until my pregnancy was about to happen. So I worked 9 months the whole time. I took 2 weeks and I said, you know what, I'm going, because I felt like I was 199 pounds when I had my son. And that was the max that I've gained in my pregnancy period. Demir and Gabriel was 205 with Demir. But the Gabriel's pregnancy, it was different because first of all, when we hit the pandemic in March or February, I was okay. I was like, all right, it's just a little thing. But then when it started getting even worse and people started dropping like flies, I got so nervous. I was like, oh my God. It was like, baby, do you want to go to work pregnant with this going on? Even my mom was like, Afia, you need to stay home. Take your PTO days. And I was like, Mom, I can't do that. Because then if I go out on PTO leave, what am I going to have when I go out on real leave? So I kept going to work. And like I said, after, I think it was May 15th was my last day of work. And I was home. I was on my ball, my birthing ball. I would just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. My due date was the 6th. And I was like, why is this baby not coming? Like, I would literally come home and just rock, baby. And Alex would be like, babe, you about to have a baby. And I'm like, no, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. So we would rock back and forth, back and forth. And he was like, okay, I went on walks, the whole bit. I was walking hills because I love walking hills ever since I've known myself. That's always been my workout, is walking hills or running hills since track and field days. So I used to do all of that. And when that night, I think it was the 8th, I was on my ball, rocking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I said, why do I feel this way? And it was like, you keep rocking on that ball. He was like, babe, you keep rocking on that ball, you're going to go into labor. I was like, well, that's the goal. So I kept rocking. I was like, okay, I feel some type of way. So I called the doctor and I'm like, I'm literally due, but I just feel a little bit of Braxton Hicks every couple of minutes. And she was like, well, this is your second pregnancy. So I said, it's my second. She was like, well, if it's every 5 minutes, then, you might want to come in. But if not, you could probably wait till every 3 minutes. So my goal, my birth plan, when I told Alex I said, I want to wait when it's every 3 minutes. Because I looked up, I YouTubed everything. I read I read 2 books, I think. Yeah, I read 2 books. And I just was looking into, birthing and birthing mostly at home versus going to hospital, because my first pregnancy with Demir, I went in when I thought it was contractions, but it wasn't as severe, and they put me on Pitocin. And when I tell you, I would never, well, I had no kids, so that's that on that. If anybody was to ask me, Althea, should I induce my own labor via hospital with Pitocin, I would say no. Because the pain that I experienced was out of this world. Like, I was in labor for 14 hours. When I went to the hospital with Demir, they said I was 3 centimeters, and they said I couldn't go home. So I said, okay. So I stayed there before I had my kid. and it was excruciating pain. Like I didn't have no epidural until like literally the last minute. I told A, I said, babe, I don't think I'm be able to push. And then they said, all right, we'll give it epidural. And literally when I got the epidural with the mirror, that's when they told me I had to turn over and deliver the baby, because they said that the umbilical cord had wrapped around Demir's neck and I had to deliver. So I said, okay. But Gabriel, get back to Gabriel now. Gabriel, I labored mostly at the house. I was on the ball. Then the lady was like, when I called her and I said, I think it's about 5 minutes apart or 7 minutes apart, I put on my labor contraction on my phone and I started monitoring my contractions. So when I told A, I said, yeah, it's about 5 minutes apart, 7 minutes apart. He was like, okay, just tell me when you're going to be ready, because everything was packed. Like, we had my car detailed. We had both cars detailed. I had two bags for the hospital. I already did that like a month in advance, just in case. And the lady told me, Alfia, just go relax, go sit down, don't do no much, don't do no more of that ball. So I said, okay, fine. So I went and I laid down, and Alex bought me some sweet potato pie because I said I wanted some pie. Greedy ass, right? So I ate the pie and I said, all right, I'm gonna relax. So I relaxed, I laid down in the bed. All of a sudden I feel something. I'm like, what is this? Like, I feel something trickle, like a little water. So I said, so I looked at that, it's not water. So I called A and I was like, hey. He was like, what happened? I said, it's just a little bit of water. He was like, what does that mean? I said, and then I felt more. I said, I think my water is breaking. Because when I had Demir, I didn't get a chance to experience my water broke. They broke my water in the hospital. And well, I'll get into the story. It was nowhere near the experience that I experienced with Gabriel. So when that came down, I said, yeah, I think that's my water breaking. He was like, all right, we'll just get everything. We'll get everything. Let's go. So I called my mom. Actually, I called my mom when I was 7 minutes apart. And she was like, well, you should come now, because I had to drive almost an hour to her to drop off Demir. Because they didn't, obviously, it was COVID time. They didn't allow any kids in the room. It was only Alex allowed. Thankfully, because some places, they don't allow just me. So I was thankful about that. I was not going to be able to do that by myself. So when my mom was on the phone, I said, no, Mom, I think I got time. I called the doctor to say I have time. So when my water broke in the bed, I called my mom and I said, Mom, we're on our way. She said, I told you should have came. So I said, well, Mom, I didn't know, because, I'm trying to labor at home as much. She was like, you're trying to have the baby at home? I said, no, I'm just trying to labor home. So I just got everything together. He got Demir together, because Demir already had his bags packed at his nana, because I dropped that off beforehand. I was prepared, guys. I was prepared. So I dropped off Demir's stuff a week before. All Demir had to do was get on. He had his pajamas on and everything already. So all he had to do was drive. So I said, all right, let's go. So we drove with me having contractions every 5 minutes. An hour away. I'm in a car, like, no medication, nothing. And then I had on like a dress. And then when I got in the car, no, let's rewind. So when my water broke in the house, in the bed, it was a little bit, not too much. That's okay, my water still broke. When I got in the bathroom, everything, water. So I was like, yeah, this is it. I called A, I said, babe, look. He was like, all right, let's go. So when I got in the car, I said, let me make sure I set myself up. So I had a towel to put on a chair just in case anything else was to happen, water-wise, if I broke more water. So we went in the car and we're driving, and I'm like, every time, I'm like, A's lit. I ain't gonna lie, A was like the best. I ain't gonna hold y'all. He was able to hold me together. God bless his little soul. And he was like, baby, going up, because there was a lot of bumps. Where we live, it was speed bumps. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm literally going through contractions every 5 minutes. And I'm literally, when we got to my mom's house, which was an hour away, so I'm driving an hour hour with contractions every 5 minutes, guys. And I'm like, okay, I can do this, I can do this. I open the windows, I can do this, I can do this. And I was just like, come on, we got stopped by the cops. We didn't get stopped by the cops going to my mom's. When I got to my mom, the contractions was every 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes, guys. When I tell you, it was like every 2.5. After a while, I was like, you know when you get numb? I was like, and it was like, you all right, babe? You all right? I was like, no. I said, we need to get to the hospital. We had to drive to Atlanta another hour. So I'm like, I'm not going to make it. We're going to have this baby here. And I said, Lord, please, please. I was like panting. I was like, And it was like, babe, just hold it. You got this, babe. You got this. You got this. She was just telling me all kinds of, affirmations like, baby, you can do this. You had Demir. You got this. You strong. And I was like, ooh. I was literally like, I didn't cry. I was just like, okay. I was breathing. He was like, babe, stop getting tense. Breathe, baby, breathe. When I tell you, we on the highway booking 100, maybe 110. And I'm like, So we got stopped by the cops. And Alex was like, fuck this. I said, no, we don't need no highway chase now. Stop. He was like, all right, baby, stop. So I said, yeah, stop. And the cops came, and I said, officer, I'm about to have a baby. He seen my big ass stomach, and my water just continued to come, guys. It just didn't stop. I was like, well, what the hell? Why is all this water coming out? And it was like, officer, we about to have a baby. We got to go to Atlanta because that's when she's going to deliver. He was like, all right, God, all right, I get it, I understand. So the cop was like, I'm going to drive in front of your house, so, the traffic. I said, thank you, Jesus. So the cop car drove us for about 5 miles in front of us so that all the traffic, we wouldn't have to stop or nothing. I was so thankful for that officer because I was like, A was about to cut niggas off 1, 2, right, left, center. So I was super excited about that. I was super happy. So when we got there, I was like, okay, my water broke one last time. When I say my body was just dead, it was dead. And I got there, I got to registration, and not just my water broke there. That's why I said, I don't know where all this water came from. When Alex got, mind you, first of all, Alex had like 10 bags, okay? He had so many bags. I said, babe, I'll walk. He was like, babe, you'll walk? I said, yeah, babe, I'll walk. He was like, okay, you'll walk. So when I walked into the hospital, literally, guys, my outfit that I had on, the whole back was wet. And I was like, babe, my dress is wet. They gonna think I peed on myself. And he was like, babe, it's okay. Like, they could see you fucking pregnant. Like, what the hell? So I was like, okay. So he's walking with me. And the guy knows me, and because I work there. And he's like, you ready? I was like, I'm ready. He's all right. Let's get you a wheelchair. I said, ooh, thank you, Jesus. Because I said, fuck that. I thought I was going to walk. I said, no, give me a wheelchair. So I got the wheelchair, sitting in the wheelchair. And I got to registration, and my water broke one last time. When I say I felt my baby's head, first of all, I started crying. Because I was like, I'm so sorry. I did a mess. And it was like, babe, it's okay. You having a baby. I was like, I'm sorry. And the lady was like, oh, we got to get you in the room fast. I was like, okay. So I went into a room, and they got my information, and the lady measured me to see how much centimeters I was. I was 5, and I was like, what? I said, all those contractions, and I'm only 5 centimeters. I'm thinking I'm like 7. She's like, oh, you're just 5. You got time. I was like, oh my God. So after that, no. Maybe she started writing stuff down, asking me questions, getting my blood pressure. I said, lady, I'm about to push. She says, no, you have time. I says, excuse me? I says, no. I said, I feel the pressure pushing. She said, oh, it's okay. I said, no. I said, I feel like I'm going to poop. She's like, really? I said, yes. I said, I feel like I need to push. She's like, all right, let me check you again. I was 10 plus. She says, we need to get you in the room now. She's like, oh my God, it's only been 20 minutes. When I tell you guys, I was ready to push. I was so ready, and they had to put me on a bed, and A had just came in. A was like, you ready? I said, babe, I am ready. They had to haul me down the hallway, rushing to put me in a room to deliver. My doctor was, they said they would try to page her. She was on call, but it was another doctor who had to delivery, which was okay. You know, at the end of the day, as long as you got your credentials and you can deliver baby, at the end of the day, I'm okay with it. So, I'm in a room. They doing, we got to do a COVID test. I said, okay, go ahead. So, they did it. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I had no mask on. Jesus was on my side. I had on no mask, guys. And I'm used to masking up because of my field and because of COVID. I had on no mask. I was just so out of it. I was like, I just want to have my baby. So I laid there, and they said, okay, you know, do you want an epidural? I said, no. Sure. Like, well, at this point, ma'am, you just have to push because you went through all the labor pains. You are just ready to just push. I said, okay. So she was like, I said, the lady was like, are you ready? I said, I'm ready. The doctor came in, suited up, booted up, and I was like, are y'all ready for me to push? So the doctor was like, yeah, do whatever you want to do. I was like, I looked at Alex looked at me. I said, hey, let's do the duck like that. So I said, babe, put my legs up. So I put my legs up. I said, let's go. He was like, all right, I'm going to count. I said, no, I'm going to count. I said, we're going to count to 20. He's like, no, we count to, I said, we're going to count to 20. And I put Alex was like, all right, babe, come on, let's do this. So he put my leg back. I pushed my arms towards my legs, and I pushed, and I counted to 20. When I pushed 1, 2, I said, and we got to 10, I took a deep breath, and I said, keep going. And he was like, the doctor was like, keep going. I said, keep going. Because I learned from my first pregnancy. I learned how to push. I learned the whole bit. I learned how to just be one with my body and to know that the baby is gonna come out, to not stress myself, not to stress my body, just relax. I taught myself that. And in that moment, I was like, the baby's gonna come out. The baby's gonna come out. I said, Gabriel. I didn't know the name, but I said, he's gonna come out. I said, I'm pushing. I was very much calm. I was very much in tune with what was happening with my body. And when I told A, I said, babe, the baby's head is about to pop out. He was like, what? I said, the baby's head is about to pop out. And as soon as I said that, I heard it. Boop. I heard it. And A was like, babe, the head is out. I said, I know. I said, the body is about to come out now. And I just pushed. I like literally centered myself and I pushed. And the doctor was like, the baby's coming out. The doctor just said, this is the fastest labor ever. I said, okay. So when Gabriel came out, Alex was like, his eyes were open wide. Like, hey, what was y'all waiting on? Yeah. So when he was weighed, first they put him on my stomach. Obviously, I just had to cut the umbilical cord and stuff like that. And then they weighed him. When they told me his weight, I was like, nah, that can't be his weight. He was 9 pounds, 4 ounces. I said, I was carrying a 9-pound baby. I was thinking, okay, maybe 7, like the mirror, because I didn't gain no extra weight. Like, no, I was no 250. So I'm thinking, you know, this is just plain old 7 pounds. When I say 9 pounds, I was like, babe, he was the baby's okay, the baby's healthy. And then, you know, everything else, and the guy was like, no epidural. He was like, you're a strong woman. He was like, you're a strong woman. You took control. I said, you told me to do what I wanted to do, so I just took fucking control. I said, baby, let's deliver this baby. All he did was, cut the umbilical, well, help with the umbilical cord, have all the sterile stuff in the field, everything like that. The nurses was super duper sweet, everything like that. But that was my experience with Gabriel's birth. And I ain't gonna lie, I really appreciated it because it was painful as hell. Painful as all hell. But I can say this, it wasn't as painful as Demir's. Because I labored most of my time home. I really did. I took a shower, a nice warm shower with the contractions. I let that hot water hit my back. Alex was there for me. He made me laugh almost the whole way of us going to the hospital. He had me laughing. He encouraged me. It was so much that I could say I benefited from my labor with with Gabriel. Obviously with Demir, Alex also did, encourage me as well, but it was totally different. He was like, babe, with Demir, you look like you was dead. He said with Gabriel, you was a little bit more aware. Like you was more in tune with what was going on. And I was like, yeah, because the first time I was like, I was but I'm glad I was able to take control of my body and be there every step of the way. So if anybody's giving birth to any children, don't tense up your body. Ow! Boy, this boy just bit me. A whole bite. Look at that whole, y'all can't see that. A whole bite. Look at, you see that? Yeah, he bit me. I'm supposed to do with you now. You lucky, I love you. Anyway, so yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, guys, to my channel. Don't forget, it's my world, it's your world, but most importantly, it's God's world. So stay blessed, stay safe, God. Good vibes only. And that's about it.